Praise the Lord. This is a weird one. I want to talk a little bit about Hexheimer's reaction. So that's like a healing reaction. And as I'm going through Bartonella tincture, so a tincture is an herbal remedy where the herbs have been dissolved, and it's very powerful. And in this case, it's very able to deal with viral type situations. That's what it's designed for, at least this one. So I'm well into this, and we'll talk about details later. But what I wanted to explain was, as you increase in therapies, in any therapies, I mean, I'm saying this. It could be just nutrition. You could end up with a migraine from a nutrition overabundance. You could end up with a migraine because you haven't done enough coffee enemas. Like your liver is toxic, and I know I do, and many people I know who've gone through this now. You will start to feel it in the back of your head. It'll kind of develop slowly, and then it turns into a migraine, which is no fun. And so what I wanted to share was I had one of the worst Hexheimer's reactions that I've ever had. And the remedies for that are, of course, coffee enemas. That helps speed things up. A lot of water. Make sure you're very hydrated. I may have been a little dehydrated. The other thing is I use castor packs. And castor pack is castor oil, and you put that oil onto a cotton cloth or wool if you have it. They make special things for it. I often will put the oil on my abdomen, like my stomach, I'm looking, right over my liver. So that's on your right side, kind of upper, below the ribs, kind of abdominal area. And I just cover it. I mean, just dripping. And then I'll put a little saran wrap over it if I'm going to put a heating pad on, and or a hot water bottle in this case. And doing that hot water bottle helps the castor oil to absorb. Now, I'm telling you, this is a big, big deal. And if you don't know about it, castor packs are lifesavers. So in a normal situation, a castor pack for me will take a migraine down to a headache, or it'll take a headache completely away. This time I had to do 2. And so typically, put the pack on, put the hot water bottle on top, and then give it 30 minutes. Usually if I do that morning and night, that's like a really heavy application. I'll feel great, I'll sleep great, and my migraine will be gone. This time I did that, and I still had the headache. I still had the migraine. I'm sorry for the wiggly. And so what I'm trying to get to is I'm showing you. You can see I'm all blotchy, and if I touch my skin, you can see how quickly things change, right? So the reason for this is because you can see it's like I'm white here and I'm bright red here, and it's all over, everywhere. Well, what's going on is I took a whole bunch of niacin. So over the course of the day, like on normal, actually, I'm going to go get it. I'll be right back. All right. So as I went to get this, I thought I'll just throw this up and you can pause it and read through it if you like. It's very helpful stuff. It's actually good for me to be reminded as I looked at it. It was like, oh, there's a few things that I didn't do today, but most of it I did. And maybe that's helpful for you. All right, let's continue. I just want to show you, like, I wore a white t-shirt to show how drastic. I'm red everywhere. I look like I got a sunburn. And it will go away. In 15, 20 minutes, it'll go away. I itch a lot. That's what a niacin flush does. And I'm telling you, I purposely took enough niacin to create a flush. And the reason was, I've found that for surfacey things, things that show up on your skin, like, let's see if I can show you guys. I have a little spot right there. It is not acne. It's a spot that shows up, and I know that it's because of Bartonella. Like, I get a little spot, they'll show up all over. They don't hurt. They generally will heal up and go away in a couple days. And I know that when I have a niacin flush, the function is that the capillaries all over your body open up, and that's why you turn bright red. Like I'm baking. If you could see, well, you can, because look at how fast it changes, right? You can see how fast my capillaries are all just fired wide open, which means that all of the toxins that are caught up in that area right now, they're just being flushed out. And so I had this thought today. I'm like, I've done the castor packs, I've done the enema, I actually did an extra enema, I've done the sauna, nothing's like recovering. And there's if you look it up, there's these are all remedies for Alzheimer's. There's supports, right? So I've done extra vitamin C, but the thought was I'm gonna just bump up my niacin. So this is normal. I do the 750, and they say CRT means controlled release. This is actual niacin. This is not like one of those modified slow release types, which I really don't like. I think straight niacin is the best. And the way that they do the slow release is they just add in some beeswax and rice bran. So it's just kind of caked, and then it slowly releases. I never flush from this, and 750 is kind of a lot. That's a lot of niacin. So that's my breakfast. I also then later took 300 more, and that's what I took later tonight. So that's what's creating this, is I took another 300. We also keep around these little 50s. I like these lozenges. They taste good, and it's easy. Like if you don't like the flushes, you can just do 50 every half an hour for 6 hours or something. I mean, you can take a lot of niacin. It's very, very safe. But the result was, as soon as this flush started, my migraine went away, gone. Like I couldn't do that. It was so heavy. It was causing me to have my eye closed, and I couldn't function, and just barely getting through the day. And I know it's a Alzheimer's. I know the reason is because of this Bartonella die-off. The bacteria is really unhappy, and as it's dying off, it puts up a fight, just like any organism does. This pest needs to go, and so I'm just trying to support my body to get through it, and using niacin to knock out that migraine was an excellent source. I am not a doctor. I'm just letting you know, with now 976 days of going through things like this, that niacin is a godsend. It just helps. And if you don't know, niacin is just vitamin B3. It's vitamin B3, and you need a lot of it. It is absolutely critical in the Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle is what supports all of your energy function in your body. You would have no energy if you don't have your B vitamins, so it's important that way. And I just stumbled into it today, and I thought I just want to share that, and I hope it blesses you. I hope that gives you some extra boost, maybe, that helps you recover when you're going through a situation like this too. Now I want to tell you, this is not comfortable. Like me sitting here and talking to you, and I'm like, it looks like I'm sunburned beyond misery. This will all go away. The first time I ever went through it, I looked at my wife and I was like, my ears itch, like inside my ears itch. And it's kind of scary because you don't know when it's gonna go away. It's just like, now it's a tool and I use it, and I'm fine with the itch, right? It's just like, it's interesting. I'm super blotchy because this is my second one for the day. I've never been able to do 3 flushes in a day. Like it's like, I don't know. The flush is supposed to be because you're saturated with B3, and your body's capillaries all fire up and then help balance out the B3 throughout your whole system. I just had this thought before I took them. You have your lymphatic system, and when my lymphatic system gets plugged up, I feel a lymph node right here that gets hard as a rock, like the size of a walnut. And when all of my lymph system is working and flowing properly, this is gone. Like, it's gone right now. It's fine. But it will puff up, and it's kind of an indicator of where my health is at. And you may find that too. You might find, like my wife might find some on her neck. You find them kind of in the back of your head, definitely in your armpits and in between your legs. That's why I like doing the dry brushing, right? Doing that dry brushing, which I made a video on, that will help move lymph out as well. And as a comment from somebody who sent this in, like, I pray and I exercise and I do my nutrition and I make sure that all of those things are in good balance. So that produces healing. God's made us fearfully and wonderfully. And if we just treat our bodies right, we will heal. We will heal. Of course, that's not always a guarantee. You may be so far along in your cancer process that you just can't turn that ship. That's where the Lord comes in. That's where Jesus Christ and having a relationship with him that makes you sure you'll go to heaven when you die is the most important for all of us. But if you are given a limited amount of time, make that relationship right. Ask him to forgive your sins. Ask him to come into your life and just fill that God-shaped hole and change your life. And he will. He's so faithful. If you have questions about that, you're always welcome to send me questions. I pray for you guys. If you're subscribed, I pray for you. I'm not saying you should subscribe. I'm just letting you know that's my prayer list. And so God bless you. Thanks for joining me. I hope this is helpful.